Okay, let's start with this last exercise. Now we have actually done a lot of exercise. So now this is actually asking me. We have already worked with many numerical type of array or matrix. Let's work with something with character array or string. Okay, so a character array is given. For example, asking now this is given or this is like given. I have to find out how many times this a character actually appeared. Okay, so let's first just copy this one. Let's just copy this one. Let's copy it in our array. Now this is a red, it is showing red, that means it is not actually working. We have to put it here, something like that. Different in the, so this is the array. I want to find out how many times A appeared. So how to do that? Okay, so sorry about this. So what we'll do is there is a built-in function called count. We can check one by one, but I want to write the built-in function actually that is much more preferable. X comma. So what I want to find? A. So this is A. Remember, this is the character. So whenever you are working with strings, always remember to put this single quotation or double quotation sign. So single quotation, if you put double quotation, it will not work. String is not mutable. So let's see, it is actually giving me 1, but there should be 2. This is A, then I have another A. So what is the problem? The problem is here, this is a capital A, this is a small a. I have checked for this small a, not the capital one. So if I write something like double of our x, okay, so this is the ASCII value of each of the characters. For capital A, the ASCII value is 65. A small s has a ASCII value of 150. Okay, so it is actually checking when I'm counting. It is counting for A means this is the value. It is counting for 97. How many appearance of 97? So and it is finding that 97 actually came 1. 97 and 97 came only once. That is why it is giving. So this lowercase of a and this capital A both have different ASCII values. So that's why they are actually giving different answers. So if I write like count x comma capital A, it will give me again, it will give me 1. Okay, so on. So this should be actually 1. So let's take a look at the second question. How many characters are there? Okay, so how many characters are there? We can do something that is called length. We have already introduced to this one, length of x. Since this is the character array, it will give me the answer. So this is 10. Why it is 10? I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But why it is 10? 10 because there is something that is called, this is a space. I have placed an space here, and the space has a ASCII value of 32. So that is also included as a character. Okay. So if I write, for example, see if I want to take a look at x of 5, I see this space. So space is also a character. Okay. So let's take a look. So this is the how many characters are there? This is 10. Let's write something. So things that we have learned, I think we should. Sorry. 17 was we have learned how to use count. Okay, and we have learned something previously. 17 that was sort. Okay, there are different types of sort. Then I have learned count. Okay. Let's put it here. So the third question was convert all the characters to lowercase. So we can do this by using a simple function that is called lower. Okay, lower of x. Okay, so lower of x will convert all the elements to the lowercase. Okay, and if we again do the double of lower of x, you can see the ASCII value has actually changed. 65 actually become 97. Now if I do, okay, let's assign it to another variable. Assign it to x2 because of that. Now if I actually count for a, now count of a, sorry, count x2 comma a. Okay, first one is the array. Sorry. I have made a mistake. It has to be a character array. Let's do it. Lower of x. Okay. Now I am getting the 2. I have converted it into lowercase. Now I am checking here. Now if I check here for a, I am getting the 2. There are 2 appearance of a. Okay. So I believe the lowercase and uppercase is clear. So the function is lower, that will actually convert the array into a lowercase. So Let me write it here. 18, then let's write it. So there is a function called lower. Okay. Similarly, there is a function that is called upper that will convert the array into the uppercase, the whole array to a uppercase letter. Okay. Now let's go to number 4. Bring out the first and the last element. So I know x, that was, if I call for x of 1, it is giving me the first element. And if you remember from my last lecture, I have said that x of n will automatically give you the last element. Okay, we don't have to calculate anything. Okay, so this is our z. We can also do it like this way, x of length of x. Okay, because length of s is the length of the last element, so it is also giving the same answer. So a same problem can be done in different ways, in many different ways, so don't worry about it. And the last one is the change the second element to x. So I am asked to change the second element. So this was our original x. Let's change it. Let's make x2 to say, let's make it f. Okay, so now it actually become Afif now. Okay, so if I change something, when as long as it is a character array, so it is actually mutable. Okay, mutable means something I can actually change, something that can be mutated. But if I use string, that is not mutable. Okay, so for example, if I write x is equals to string, say Asif, something like that. Now if I try to change x of 2 is equals to 2. So we do something, it actually happens something different. It is not changing the value because string is not actually mutable. Okay, I am adding an element to this array, something like that. So don't worry about it. So if you are just working with character array, that is fine. Okay, don't worry about the string for now. It will only complicate the process. So I believe this problem is clear. Very simple example. Try it for this test case 2 as well by yourself. Then let's look at the last question. Example exercise 11. Here a character array is given and find the abbreviated form. Okay, abbreviation. So abbreviation means, so this is like convolutional neural network. So abbreviation means I will actually take the first element of each of the word, first element from C, first element from this neural network N and N, put it together, and it should be upper letter, because when we write a abbreviated form, we always put it in the uppercase. Okay, so let's copy this one first. This is our x now. So let's clear everything. Let's put it here. Again, it is showing this, so I have to put this. Okay, so convolutional neural network. So I want to take the first element of this one, first element of this one, and first element of this one. So how to access or how to know what is the first element of this one? Okay, so I can use a for loop then to go through and check whether I have a space here to find out the next element that would be the first element. Don't worry about it. We don't have to do it that way. There is a built-in function for that. So something that is called split of x. Let's see what it does. So split by default split this original array into 3 different array. It is splitting the array here. Okay, splitting the array here. That is the space. By default, split splits the array in the space. Okay, if we actually take a look at here, let's take a look at here. Split. So split strings at delimiters. Delimiters means the space. For example, I can also define a particular delimiter as well. If I try to look at, if you let me show you. If I write split x comma, say for example O, okay, let's see what actually happens. Now we can see it is splitting x at every position of O. So C, then I have a O, so it is splitting C. Then I have NV, then again I have O, so split. Then again this lutein, then again O, then again this whole portion until I have another O. So this way, so it is actually splitting. So by default, it is splitting at this space. Okay, and that is what we want to work. So I have this 3 array now. Okay, now using this 3 array, each of the array, I can actually just take out the first element. So let's write a code here. So this is our exercise 11. Yes, so this is our exercise 11. So first we split the x. So this is our x. So first we split the x, then let's work with for loop first. Okay, there is another way to do it using self-fun, but will only complicate the process. For I is equals to 1 is to length of y. Okay, so length of y, what will I do? I'll take z is equals to y of I. Okay, That means if you remember your for loop, I'm looping through this first element to the third element one by one. Then when I'm writing this using instead of parentheses, when I'm using this curly braces, I automatically give what is inside this inside. Okay. So for example, if I write y of 2, I'll get this neural. Okay. So if I write y of 2, it will give me a string. Sorry, it will give me a array, a cell array. I don't want that. I don't what is inside the cell array. So I will write this y of 2. Now inside this one, I want the first element. So I can actually command multiple one in a single line. So I'm automatically getting this n. So y of 2 first element, that is what I want. So z is equals to y of 2, 1. This is the first element, that is our z. So what is our z? So let's z is a empty array. So empty cell, sorry, so empty character array. Previously, if you remember one of the examples, we actually initiated something using an empty array using this way, okay, this way. But now I am using I am trying to create a character array, so that's why I'm using this single quote sign. So this is our z. Z is equals to z. Let's try using this one. Okay, so this is our z, and then I have this in. Okay, so what I will have. So let's try to see what actually happens. So as you can see, each of the so at each of the loop, I am getting one by one. Let me unsuppress this one, run it again. So first Z had nothing, okay, a single empty array. Then I have this first element C. Then I have n. N was appended to it because I have put it in a matrix. Then again I have C and n. All of this appended all together. And finally I have to do something like Z is equals to upper of Z, because upper will put it in the uppercase. So this is our final answer. So this is how we actually do it. Okay, so this is our code. If I do it for this one, LTE, long-term evolution, if you are actually familiar with in our country, LTE is actually 4G, that is pretty much familiar nowadays. So this is actually the name of the 4G, that is long-term evolution. And if I actually perform this one again, so I get LTE. Okay, so I believe this is clear. So this is up to this is actually for your lecture 2. We have solved lots of questions like exercise 11, total 11 code exercise. So I would ask you to actually do those things by your hand. If you just look at these things, that will never work. You have to practice by your hand, write the codes by your hand. Then you will see, and this will actually start to become very clear. Okay, you'll also get the hand of writing a programming exercise. I will also give you an assignment, okay, later on. So you have to solve the assignment. Try to solve the assignment. If you can't solve the problem, don't worry about it. You just knock me. I'll actually try to explain. Okay, but I want you to try first. Okay, try what you are thinking, how you are trying to solve that problem. I want you to try first. If you fail, then I am here to help. Okay, so I hope this is clear, and I hope you actually understand these videos. I have actually tried to in many details. Okay, and that was something I never got by myself. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Okay, let's start it. Let's stop it here.